Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Good Love Podcast, a Good Love project production with your friendly neighborhood sex geek and good lover, Katrina Boots Rainsong. Here at the GLP, we strive for informed, enthusiastic consent, so this is your content warning. The Good Love Podcast is a sex and relationship education podcast directed to adult listeners. We offer playful, powerful, and positive education on sexuality, pleasure, kink, sexual health and wellness, and a slew of other grown and sexy topics. If you find any of these topics objectionable, you're welcome to skip an episode or even the whole show. If you're under 18, we recommend heading over to scarletine.com for all youth-focused sex ed needs. Now, if you're an enthusiastic yes, get comfy and enjoy the show. Hello, good lovers. Today we have a bonus episode for you. Our most recent class release, Intro to Kink, is now live and available on our Patreon for the Let's Go Steady tier. With the Let's Go Steady tier, you can have access to all of our recorded classes and workshops, and the library is just going to keep on building. So come in and join us. For now, enjoy this little snippet, this excerpt, little tasty teaser, Intro to Kink.
Kink is also nothing new. Things that we would consider kinky have been around literally for millennia and more. Interest is like practice, like what we would call BDSM. Like the Dionysian mysteries. So this image, I fucking love this image, is a fresco from Pompeii. And if you need to come a little bit closer to be able to see properly, you certainly can. But it's a woman getting like spit roasted, basically, and getting whipped and spanked at the same time.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. And the room that's in is called like the Tomb of the Whipping. So like Dionysian mysteries, the Spartan mysteries around Artemis, a lot of different religions in antiquity included like flagellation of some kind in their rituals or other like forms of ordeals. Sometimes are pleasurable ones too. One of my favorite poems is from an ancient Sumerian hymn to Ishtar or Inanna, and it's basically describing a gangbang. It's like 20 for her mouth. It's like 20 for her mouth, 20 for her heart, 20 for her beautiful vulva, and still Ishtar will not tire. Like it's hot. It's so hot. I love it. Here we have shibari in ukiyo-e. So ukiyo-e was a very specific art movement in the pleasure districts of Japan during the Edo period, and it's really where shibari started really blowing up, or what they would also call kimbaku, just tight binding. And of course the Kama Sutra, right? Like, a lot of people who have not actually read the Kama Sutra, they know of like maybe the Cosmo Sutra or like some of the other ones that are mostly focused just on the sex positions and the different acrobatics, are unaware that there is kink in the Kama Sutra. This is a really great quote. Sexual relations can be conceived as a kind of combat, Vatsyayana, Kama Sutra. Aggression with the nails and feet, embraces, kisses, cruel bites are acts leading to greater enjoyment than loving behavior. The poet Bharavi in the Kartadarjun. So this was part of the, if you get like the unabridged Kama Sutra, that's part of the commentary that is on there. There's a whole chapter on impact, or as they call it, the chapter is called Blows and Sighs. Impact, biting, cross-dressing, pegging, it's all in there. And so, we also have like a lot of early literature that came through, the 18th and 19th centuries that really directly influenced modern BDSM. We have Venus and Furs by Leopold von Sacher-Masoch, which was written in the 1800s. Marquis de Sade, of course, who was, writing all of his just absolutely insane pornography while locked up in the Bastille in the 1700s. Fanny Hill was a really great example of erotica in like Georgian London. So again, that's like 1700s, and there is flogging and birching in it. I actually recently learned that around that time, there was a doctor that actually published a paper talking about the effectiveness and benefits of flogging or birching as treatment for erectile dysfunction. Which, of course, then the perverts got their hands on that and went wild with it.
What's birching?
Birching is something that the like spanking mistresses and governesses in England around like 1800s was one of the many ways that they would do impact, and it's using like birch sticks, birch bundles, which will tear the skin. So, like you hear the whole thing about somebody's grandpa telling them to go out and find me a switch. A switch would have been just like one birch branch, but they would use like these bundles. Today,
Makes a beautiful sound.
Yeah. Today, it's hard to, if you're not in an area that actually like has birch trees. We have something else. I actually just made one. I should have brought it with me.
I'm literally thinking about it in my head.
A toy that is called a birch, and it's a bundle of, it's basically a bundle of canes.
Yeah, I was thinking baton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finished, smooth,
Yep.
flexible wood.
Yeah. Makes great sounds, makes like great sensations.
Like 10 to 15 of them, maybe.
I think that's about,
handhold. You wrap it.
yeah.
It's really cool. Pretty cheap. Very fun.
Yeah, it was really fun to make. That was my first homemade toy, because I personally have a thing for the whole like Victorian mistress thing. It's hot.
So are you studying birching?
So this last book that I have here, this one came out in 1886. But we had all these different, fiction, mostly novels, like showing great evidence of our ancestors' kinky ways and fantasies, regardless of what the Victorians had to say about it. We didn't have some of the terms that we use now until good old Kraft Ebing put out the book Psychopathia Sexualis, or Sexual Pathology, a medical forensic study. And it is from him that we get words like sadism, masochism, bisexual, all of those kind of things. And we're going to get into that a little bit more later. Let's get into some basic terminology. So kink, BDSM, and fetish are often used like interchangeably, right? You go to a fetish ball, you go to a BDSM party, everyone has a fetish ball. This is a conversation that Shane and I had recently, because like not all fetish balls are very ball-like necessarily.
I would never put a ball per se, but they're loose terms.
Yeah. Within this class framework, I'm going to be making some distinctions between the terms and also further breaking down the acronym of BDSM. Fetish itself has a word that has like very specific connotations, and we're going to get into that as well, into like what that can mean. And as I break all of this down, that doesn't mean that anything is necessarily right or wrong. It's just giving a larger and more nuanced picture behind the words. I'm really big on language and using it with intention. So, what is kink? Oh, yay, the animation worked. Ha. What is kink? What is kink?
Childhood joyous play with adult privilege and
Cool toys. Yes, that is the definition from Midori. I fucking love her. I find a way to drop her into almost every class I teach because I'm just a huge fan envy. But also, yes, like you had brought up earlier, the playfulness, right? That is really what it gets down to. Socially, one would say that it's consensual, non-conventional sexual practices, and that it's an umbrella for BDSM and fetish, right? And then BDSM itself, right? You have B&D, bondage and discipline, DNS, dominance and submission, the DS,
the
B&D. Mm-hmm.
What do they call it? Where it is an acronym, but it's even broken down further into the two-letter groupings. There's a particular name for it. I forget what it is.
As someone who just claimed to be a language nerd, I feel like I should definitely know that, and I do not.
I'll get back
It's an abbreviation.
It's an abbreviated sub-abbreviation. I don't know. You know what you You know what you do have though, baby? You can consult the Oracle for me.
The Oracle of Google.
Yep. Yeah, it's always so it's like, I don't know. Let's consult the Oracle. And then fetish, right? Erotic fixation on a specific object, body part. Those are the most basic definitions. Let's go in a little bit deeper. What is a fetish? Originally, a fetish was an object of power or significance. It was a spiritual or religious thing. So you see these like little animal-shaped carvings. When the Portuguese came to Africa and they saw people like with these, and they were considered to either be part of spells or to house spirits, the Portuguese gave them the name, and I'm probably gonna like fuck it up here, fetiche, which the French then turned into fetiche, and it means spell, like a magic spell. And then we have fetish. Sexual fetishism is also within like the psych realm, is also called paraphilias. And I put here fetish with a capital F or fetish, a lowercase f. It's because of the different ways that we use the word, we use the term. So within the medical model, the psychological definition is an intense sexual attraction, response, or desire for an inanimate object or a non-erotic body part. And it can be considered a disorder when significant distress is present. So if someone, like, and this is like the original definition of sexual fetishism, the idea that you have to have this thing present to be able to even have pleasure, experience orgasm and whatnot. The average person who is showing up at a party like this and is like, oh yeah, I have a total, beard fetish, they're not going to be able to never come again if their partner shaves their beard. Like, it's not to that level. So I kind of think of fetish with a capital F as like paraphilias, and lowercase f is more of the social definition, which is a little more relaxed and also goes beyond just specifically object or body part, because it can also include specific activities, materials, types of people, substances, or situations. Another favorite quote from a favorite guy: the only abnormal sex acts are the ones you can't do. Alfred Kinsey, sexologist.
Feel free to send in any questions you have, any other topics you'd like to see us tackle. We love to hear from you. And until next time, keep on good lovin'.